Speaking of our Honor of Vet recipient, we have decided this year to do exactly what we did last, and that is recognize the men. We disagree about socialism and communism and, crazyism and radio showism and all these other sorts of things. But I think the one thing most of us, I think Larry and Ray would agree again, that some of the greatest people who have served this country are the men and women of our armed forces. In my political life, I can remember there was almost a common respect that Republicans and Democrats had for those that have served the country and allowed me to do this crazy thing and you to do whatever it is you do today. C.B. Anderson is with us this morning. C.B. was in the Vietnam era, but served in Korea, if I'm not wrong. But you don't want to talk as much about what you did as what you're doing today, because you think it's critical and vitally important to understand people who come home have issues that most of us can't relate to nor deal with.
That's true. I founded the Veterans Resource Center of Florence. We are now in our 5th year of operation. I'm retired, so I volunteer 4 days a week working with veterans. There are many veterans that kind of fall down on their luck from time to time, and they really don't know where to go. VA knows we're here. Many other agencies around Florence know that we're here. So veterans, when they do seek help, if they don't come directly to us and they go to another agency, the agency knows where to send them. They send them to us. And we do get some local funding where we can assist with past due rents and utilities. Because we got to face it, it happens to all of us at one time or another. We kind of make a stupid mistake, or
we have hard times.
We lose our job for whatever reason, the economy, and we need some help occasionally. But it's harder for a vet to ask for help. They train you to be this big macho, mean fighting machine, and to ask for help, that's a sign of weakness. So it's really hard for them to go out and ask for something versus just a normal citizen. But they do come to us, and we do assist. They must have an honorable discharge, at least a general under honorable, for us to assist financially. As far as referrals, we will refer any veteran to what resources they need, regardless of where they're from or regardless of their discharge. I'm also the employment homeless chairman for the VFW at the state level, so I get phone calls from all over the state. And if it says veteran in this area, I'm a part of it. We have a PD Area Veterans Advisory Council that's been in existence for about 8 to 10 years. I'm one of the original members. I saw it go up. I saw it go down. It's up now with different organizations, veteran organizations are getting involved. Other agencies that are non-veteran but want to learn how to help veterans are getting involved. Occasionally, I even have VA call me. I got a veteran, needs help. And, to me, it's kind of crazy that the VA can't do it. But the VA doesn't have direct funding where they can assist the veteran in case of a financial problem. I also like to remind people, and I'm seeing this more and more, we also have female veterans. A lot of people forget that. When you say veteran, most people think of men. Mm-hmm. But we got females in the military now. And I do see more and more females that, just like the male counterpart, they need help.
CB, you don't seem like the kind of guy that pushes this off on some bureaucrat somewhere in Washington. It looks like to me you're the guy that gets it done or doesn't get it done. Explain that. I mean, you were telling a story. I don't want you to tell that exact story, but I applaud you and commend you and respect you for not trying to say, okay, we got this problem, y'all go figure it out. You get in the muck of it.
I get right in the middle of it. I gave you an earlier example of a Vietnam vet. I'll give you another example. 2 brothers living together, both of them veterans, which is kind of unusual. One of them did happen to be a Vietnam vet. He couldn't find his discharge, but he found his brother's, which is fine because they're living in the same household. As long as the veteran's living there with honorable discharge, I assisted. They lived in a mobile home, which got damaged by the first hurricane we had a few years ago. It got re-damaged by the last hurricane we had, and they're fighting the government, South Carolina Disaster Relief. And Disaster Relief said, the guys wanted it repaired, but Disaster Relief said, no, we're not going to repair it. We're going to replace it. You got to move out. So they brought a pod. You get all your belongings in there. They tore the house down, brought in a new one. Okay, why aren't these guys in their new home? It's back and forth between, yes, and I'm calling their name, South Carolina Disaster Relief, and a construction company whose name I will not call, but it's kind of a back and forth. And I don't know whether they weren't talking to one another or what. I got all the information from these vets. I got the information on the construction company and disaster relief. And the biggest problem I was having was the same problem they were having. I'd call, and you get a message that says voicemail is full and they're not accepting messages. 90% of the time, that's what I got. How could I talk to anybody? But anyway, I persisted. I got friends with some little higher up connections than I have, and we finally reached somebody. Then the process started. Eventually, and I'm making a long story short, the construction company and South Carolina Disaster Relief began conversing with me rather than the vets. And I just simply embarrassed them. I used to be in the mobile home repair business, and I could tell them, look, your construction crew stinks. If you need somebody dependable, we can get this done today. Just let me know you hire this guy and let that one go. There's a big problem somewhere in here. And to shorten it again, within a matter of a week or so, these guys moved in their house this past week. But
because you got in the middle of it.
Yes. I mean, I dug in like a dog after a bone, and I like to think of it that way. But I like to think, too, and I will say, it is not me. I have a board of directors, and I've made a lot of contacts in this community, and I depend on those folks. It's all of us together. I call many people, and we kept these guys in a motel because one of them had dementia. He couldn't be on the street. He couldn't live in a shelter. He would not fit. It would not work. So I depended on other folks. We were spending a lot of money for the motel. And I don't mind calling their names. DAV paid a past due light bill so we could get the lights connected. Did get South Carolina Disaster Relief to pay 1 week of motel. Purple Heart paid a week of motel. There are organizations that we are aligned with that we work with, and they work with us. So it is a we thing. The Veterans Resource Center of Florida. We all do it together, not me.
The Veterans Resource Center is something you're intimately involved in. It's part of Lighthouse Ministries.
No. We are a separate 501c.
But you're housed.
We rent an office from Lighthouse Ministries.
But it's not affiliated. You just simply share space.
They're just another one of the agencies that we work hand in hand with.
Okay, I want you to do this. We got about 30 seconds. How can people who have a family member or a loved one or a friend or an acquaintance, how can they enlist if they've got an issue? How can they find out if you can help them or not?
They can come and bring your copy of your DD-214, which is discharge document. Must be honorable or general under honorable, or even otherwise. Come in and sit down and talk with me. The veteran has to talk to me. And if the veteran for maybe dementia problems or whatever, if they're incapable of talking to me, family member come with the veteran, and we'll sit down and discuss the problem. If it's something that we can't solve for you, then we can direct you to people who have the resources to get you where you need to be.
Well, I applaud you, my friend. We appreciate
Thank you.
He didn't want to talk about his service. He wants to talk about his service to other people who have provided service. We say thank you, but we got some good sponsors who want to do more than that.
That's right. To thank you for your service to our country and to other veterans in this case. You receive a night stay at Hotel Florence, a dinner for two at Town Hall Restaurant downtown, a Pepsi prize pack, a certificate of bowling, or for bowling and food for a family of four at Southgate Bowling, and a certificate for 2 rentals from River Rats Kayak and Canoe Rentals. Our sponsors for our Honor Event program, Pepsi of Florence, Palmetto Goodwill. Supporting sponsors, Hotel Florence, Town Hall Restaurant, Southgate Bowling, PD Speech and Hearing, Florence Carpet and Tile, and River Rats Kayak and Canoe Rentals.
Thank you. I appreciate that, and thank all your sponsors. And I don't know who nominated me, but I'd like to thank them as well.
Thank you, CB. Good to see you.
Thank you.
We'll take a break. We'll be back after the break. Good morning, PD, 595.